Want to get rich fast? These millionaire secrets are 100% free. Click now and subscribe to start your journey to wealth.
I'm rich! Look at all this cash! More cash!
In early 2025, something unusual caught the attention of the financial world. Warren Buffett was sitting on about $167 billion in cash. Not stocks, not index funds, not bonds, just cash. Financial analysts quickly started criticizing the decision. Articles appeared everywhere claiming the legendary investor had finally lost his touch. They argued that keeping so much money idle was costing shareholders billions of dollars in missed investment returns. But then something interesting happened. Markets suddenly became volatile, and the same cash position that people mocked became one of the most powerful positions in finance. Because the truth is something most investors misunderstand. Cash is not just money sitting in a bank account. Cash is power. The biggest misunderstanding about cash. Most financial advice follows one basic rule. Your money should always be invested. You often hear phrases like, time in the market beats timing the market. Never let your money sit idle. Put every dollar to work. This advice works well for investment funds and financial institutions, but for individuals, it can sometimes become extremely expensive. Because when your money is fully invested all the time, you lose something very important: flexibility. Cash provides flexibility, and flexibility creates opportunity. Cash is like ammunition. Imagine a soldier entering a battlefield. He has the best equipment, the best armor, and the best training, but his rifle has no bullets. That soldier may look prepared, but in reality, he cannot respond when danger appears. That is exactly what happens when someone has all their money invested and no cash available. They look financially strong, but when opportunities or emergencies appear, they cannot act. Cash works like ammunition. It allows you to respond when the moment arrives. The hidden costs nobody talks about. Most financial calculators show you one simple fact. Cash loses value over time because of inflation. For example, if you keep $100,000 in cash and inflation averages 3% per year, your purchasing power could drop significantly over decades. This makes people feel guilty about holding cash. But those calculators never show you another set of costs. Costs like selling investments during a market crash, missing rare investment opportunities, being forced to accept a bad job because you need income quickly, selling assets at the worst moment. These situations happen all the time, but they rarely appear in financial models. The 3 levels of cash power. Not all cash serves the same purpose. There are actually 3 different levels of financial security created by cash. Level 1, survival cash. This is the emergency fund most people talk about, usually around 6 months of living expenses. It protects you from unexpected problems such as medical emergencies, job loss, major repairs. Without this level, even a small crisis can become financially devastating. Level 2, stability cash. This level goes beyond survival. It includes 12 to 24 months of living expenses. This type of cash changes your life in an important way. It gives you walkaway power. You can leave a toxic job. You can wait for better opportunities. You can make decisions based on logic instead of fear. That kind of freedom is extremely valuable. Level 3, opportunity cash. This is the level used by sophisticated investors. Opportunity cash is money held intentionally for future deals. It exists for moments when markets crash, assets become undervalued, businesses need capital, unique opportunities appear. These moments do not happen every day, but when they do happen, they can create enormous wealth, and only people with available capital can take advantage of them. A real-world example. During the technology layoffs in 2023, thousands of skilled professionals suddenly lost their jobs. 2 different types of people faced the same situation. The first group had most of their wealth invested. They had strong portfolios and good long-term investments, but they had very little cash. Because they needed income quickly, they accepted the first job offers they received. Some even accepted salaries 20% lower than their previous jobs. They had assets, but they had no financial runway. The second group had significant cash reserves. They could wait. Some took several months to search carefully for the right opportunity. They negotiated better salaries, better roles, and better conditions. The difference between the two groups was not intelligence, it was liquidity. Cash creates negotiation power. Cash also creates power in many other situations, for example, in real estate. Research has shown that buyers who pay entirely in cash often receive significant discounts on properties. Sellers prefer fast, certain transactions, so they accept lower prices. This means the cash buyer may pay thousands of dollars less than someone relying on financing. Cash becomes a bargaining tool. The illiquidity trap. One of the biggest risks in personal finance is illiquidity. This happens when your wealth exists mostly in assets that cannot easily be converted to cash. Examples include retirement accounts, real estate, long-term investments. You may technically be wealthy, but if you cannot access your money when needed, that wealth becomes temporarily useless. Liquidity protects you from that situation. The psychological advantage. There is also a psychological benefit to having cash reserves. Financial stress affects decision-making. Research in behavioral economics shows that people under financial pressure make worse choices. They rush decisions. They accept bad deals because they feel trapped. Having cash reduces that pressure. It gives your brain space to think clearly, and better thinking often leads to better financial outcomes. How to apply this idea? If you want to use this strategy in your own life, consider 3 steps. First, build a real emergency fund covering at least 6 months of expenses. Second, aim to create a stability reserve that gives you the freedom to make career or life decisions without panic. Third, consider building an opportunity fund that can be used when markets or investments become unusually attractive. This approach does not reject investing. Instead, it combines investing with flexibility. The real secret of wealth. Many successful investors share one common trait. They were prepared when opportunity appeared. They had cash available when others did not. They could act while others were forced to wait. In finance, timing matters, and timing is only possible when you have the resources ready. That is why some of the most successful investors in history have always maintained large cash reserves, because they understand something most people overlook. Cash is not wasted potential. Cash is stored opportunity.